Okay, so picture this. It's 3 a.m. The whole house is dead quiet. You're deep in sleep, completely gone from this world. And then suddenly out of nowhere, crash, something falls. Maybe it's your cat. Maybe it's a shelf. You don't even know yet, but within literally 1 single second, you are wide awake. Heart pounding, eyes open, body rigid, every single sense on fire. You haven't even had a chance to think yet. You haven't processed what happened. You haven't formed a single sentence in your head, but your body has. Already reacted, already shifted into a completely different state. And tonight, I want to break down exactly why that happens. Because the answer lives inside a hidden chemical system running inside your brain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it never, not even for a single moment, shuts off. So here's the thing that most people don't actually think about. Why don't you wake up for every sound? Your neighbor's car, the hum of the AC, the wind outside. Those sounds are happening all night and you sleep right through them. So why does one specific crash at 3 a.m. send you from deep sleep to full alert in under a second? The answer is that your brain isn't actually resting while you sleep. Your brain is monitoring. It is constantly running a background scan like a security system. It's filtering every single input, every sound, every shift in temperature, every change in light, and it's making a decision in real time. Is this dangerous or is this safe? And to do that, it uses chemicals, neurotransmitters, tiny molecular messengers that control almost everything about how awake or asleep you are. And the three big ones you need to know about are adrenaline, cortisol, and melatonin. Melatonin is the one that helps push you into sleep. It builds up as it gets dark and signals to your body that it's time to slow down. Cortisol is your alertness and stress hormone. It naturally rises in the morning to help you wake up, and it spikes hard whenever your brain detects something threatening. And then there's adrenaline, which is the emergency responder. It's the one that hits your system like a lightning bolt the moment your brain decides something is wrong. And these three chemicals are in constant conversation with each other all night long, balancing, competing, adjusting. So, now let's go back to that crash, because this is where it gets genuinely incredible. Your ears pick up the sound, and that signal travels at extraordinary speed to a region deep inside your brain called the amygdala. Now, the amygdala is your brain's threat detection center. It's ancient, it's fast, and it does not wait for your rational mind to catch up. The moment that sound hits the amygdala and registers as potentially dangerous, it fires off a chemical alarm. Adrenaline floods your system almost instantly. Your heart rate jumps. Your lungs open up to take in more oxygen. Your muscles tense and prepare for movement, and your conscious mind gets yanked out of sleep whether it wants to be or not. And here's the part that blows people's minds. Your brain didn't ask, was it the cat? It didn't ask, is there actually danger? It reacted first, and it will. Figure out the thinking part later, because from an evolutionary standpoint, waiting to think is how you get killed. In this entire process, sound detected, signal sent, threat assessed, adrenaline released, body activated, eyes open, happens in milliseconds. Fractions of a second, faster than you can form a thought. Which is why you wake up before you even know why you're awake. And this brings us to something I find genuinely fascinating, which is the evolutionary reason this system exists in the first place. Because if you think about it, humans did not evolve in safe apartments with locked doors and alarm systems. We evolved in open environments where the night was genuinely dangerous. Predators hunted after dark. Threats moved quietly. And the humans who slept too deeply simply did not survive long enough to pass on their genes. So light sleepers had a real survival advantage. Their brains stayed in a higher state of readiness. Even during rest, ready to trigger that adrenaline spike the moment something in the environment changed. And that wiring didn't disappear just because we built houses and cities. Your brain is still, at its core, running ancient survival software. It's still treating an unexpected 3 a.m. sound as a potential predator. Even if it's just your cat being chaotic. And the reason this matters beyond just being an interesting fact is that it explains so much about how modern humans experience sleep, because here is the psychological twist that most people never connect. If you are someone who already carries anxiety, stress, or a habit of overthinking, your amygdala is running in a heightened state even before you go to sleep. Your baseline threat level is already elevated, which means your brain's alarm system has a much lower threshold. It takes less to wake you up. Smaller sounds, smaller movements, even internal thoughts can pull you out of sleep because your system is already primed and ready to fire. This is why people who are going through stressful periods in their lives sleep terribly. It's not just psychological, it's chemical. Their cortisol levels are dysregulated. Their nervous system is stuck in a semi-alert state, and their brain literally cannot drop its guard enough to let them sleep deeply. And understanding that is actually the first step toward fixing it. Which brings me to the practical side of all of this, because I don't want this to just be a science lesson. I want it to actually be useful to you. The first thing you can do is actively work on lowering your stress before sleep. Not by distracting yourself with your phone, but by genuinely downregulating your nervous system. Things like slow breathing, light stretching, journaling, even just sitting in silence for 10 minutes all signal to your brain that the threat level is dropping and it's safe to release into deeper sleep. The second thing is to control your sound environment as much as possible. It's not by chasing perfect silence, because actually complete silence can make you more sensitive to sudden sounds, but by using consistent background noise, like a fan or white noise, which trains your brain to filter ambient sound more effectively and reduces the chance of a sudden spike triggering that adrenaline response. And the third thing is the one people resist most, but it is the most powerful consistency. Going to sleep and waking up at the same time every single day, including weekends. Because this synchronizes your internal chemical clock, it helps melatonin and cortisol follow a predictable rhythm. And a brain that has a reliable pattern is a brain that feels safer. And a brain that feels safer lets you sleep deeper. So here's where I want to leave you tonight. Your brain is not your enemy when it wakes you up at 3 a.m. It's doing its job. It's running a system that kept your ancestors alive in genuinely dangerous conditions. It's protecting you with chemicals and signals and threat responses that have been refined over hundreds of thousands of years of human survival. The goal isn't to turn that system off. The goal is to give it the right environment so it doesn't have to stay on. High alert all night, because your brain never truly sleeps. It watches, monitors. It protects you, even when you're completely unconscious, and honestly. Once you understand that, you stop fighting your sleep, and you start working with the biology that's already on your side. If this changed the way you think about sleep, drop a comment below and tell me what surprised you most. And if you want to go deeper on brain chemistry and how your mind works, subscribe, because we've got a lot more of this coming. I'll see you in the next one.